In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I got a girlfriend as a computer science major and give you actionable techniques that you can use to get into a healthy relationship, especially if you're a computer science student. If you're new here, my name's Aman. I just graduated with a degree in CS, and yeah, let's get started. Alright, so first of all, you're gonna want to throw away most conventional advice about dating. A lot of it is absolute garbage. Here's the thing, we're living through a relationship crisis right now, and COVID has made this much worse. I know so many intelligent, smart, hardworking people who have never dated anyone ever before. They have zero relationship experience whatsoever. Some of these guys are about to graduate college with multiple software engineering internships, yet they've never even gone on a date with a girl, not even once. It's not good. And it's not like they don't want it, nor are they not trying. I've talked to these people. They do want that level of connection with someone, but they just don't know how, and no one has ever taught them. School gives you all of this advice on career success, but nobody ever teaches you how to start and cultivate a healthy relationship. And this can create a low-level depression and self-doubt. When you have no dating experience, you start to ask yourself questions like, oh, am I not good enough? And why can't I attract anyone? But listen up, you're probably just going about it wrong. With these tips, I guarantee you most of you CS majors will be able to actually go on dates and find a girlfriend. Okay, tip number one, you need to understand the power of the ask. Let me pose you a question. How many girls have you asked out on a date in the past 6 months? If you're single and you're actively looking for a partner and that number is in the single digits, you've got a real problem. Imagine you're trying to get a job or an internship and you've only applied to a few companies in the last 6 months. You'd be a complete dumb. If you want a job in this market, you better have applied to at least 50 to 100 roles, ideally over 100 positions. There's such a low chance that a single company is going to get back to you with an interview that you need to keep on applying, and probabilistically, eventually maybe a few will send you the first interview. Dating is exactly the same. Let's be real, no matter how attractive you are, you will inevitably be rejected by at least half of all women. Let that sink in. You can be a Chad and you will still be rejected by at least half of people, minimum. First of all, most girls are in relationships. Studies show that 65% of young women are in some kind of relationship, so you better get comfortable with rejection. Bringing it back to the company analogy, imagine not applying to jobs because you're worried about rejection. Rejection is part of the game. You expect to be rejected from almost every company you apply to. It's a given. And dating should be exactly the same. If you're trying to find a girlfriend, you should be constantly asking girls out. Anytime you see anyone you find attractive, you like their personality, etc., you need to ask them on a date or at least get their number. It's not like you're marrying them, you're just asking them out on the first date. And if you don't end up liking them, you can easily call it off from there. Now you might be thinking, OMG, that's creepy. I can't ask so many girls out. It's creepy. It's so weird. Here's the thing. Nobody gives a about you. As long as you are courteous and respectful, nobody's going to care. Think about it from your perspective. How would you feel if a girl approached you and asked you on a date? If somebody approached you and asked you for your number, would you get all offended and mad? Now, if somebody catcalled you from the street, now that'd be a little bit odd. But if you kindly ask someone if they want to grab coffee or get lunch, and they say no, nothing is going to happen to you. Back to the company analogy again, if a company rejects you, nothing will happen. Here's the problem. People are stuck in the high school mindset. Back in high school, if you ask someone out, okay, fine, probably the entire school is going to know by tomorrow. And yeah, maybe you'll face some social consequences there, but in college, there are tens of thousands of people. You can ask out hundreds of people, and the social network is so disconnected, most people are not going to know. Here's another important principle. Rejection is a good thing. You need to reframe rejection in this way. If you're rejected, it's awesome because then you're not wasting your time with that person. You want to be rejected as soon as possible from a girl you're talking to, because if she doesn't want you in the first place, then you can move on with your life. One common situation I see a lot is a dude who's terrified of losing a friend. So they'll take someone they're attracted to and let it sit for months and months and months. Newsflash, there's a sweet spot of time after meeting a girl when she'll be open to dating you. And that is very close to the beginning of your friendship. If you befriend a girl and wait over a month before saying anything, she'll have already mentally friend-zoned you. There's this idea in our culture of the best friends to partners trope, but that almost never happens in the modern day. That's right, the Ron and Hermione arc, that's not real life. People don't just wait for years for you to work up the courage to ask them out. After first impressions, you'll have a few solid weeks, maximum 1 to 2 months, when you can make a move, and if you don't, your time is up. They'll implicitly have rejected you because you were too much of a coward to say anything. That's why you need to polarize girls as soon as possible. Polarization is where you take someone who's a casual friend and either date them or cut them out of your life. That might seem harsh, but it's what you need to do if you want to get any success in the dating game. Think about it like this. Do you want to date a girl or be friends with her? You can't have both. You have to pick one. In an ideal world, would you like to date the girl and not be her friend, or be her friend and never date her? And if you truly want to be in a relationship with this person, you have to be comfortable with losing that friendship. Lots of guys are addicted to the dopamine hit of talking to their crush regularly, and you have to break that cycle because you don't want to be friends with them. You need to be asking tons of girls out, and you need to do it quickly. Rejection is a good thing, and if you get rejected a lot, it means you're putting yourself yourself out there. All of you guys who have no dating experience, you've probably also not been rejected by many people because you've never even tried. Conversely, the guys with the most success have probably racked up the most rejection. Counterintuitively, high rejection equals high success. Okay, now that you know the importance of asking lots of girls out, how do you actually approach someone? There's a really basic technique that works almost all of the time, especially if you're a college student. As soon as you notice an attractive girl in your class, club, event, anything, and especially if she's alone, you need to command your body to go up to her and start some kind of conversation. Now, this is definitely the easiest when you're in a class together. That's by far the most straightforward. All you have to do is notice the girl, go sit near her, obviously not in the seat right next to her, but maybe in the seat one row ahead, or with one empty side seat between you two. This will work beautifully if 1, the class isn't too full, 2, you arrive 5 to 10 minutes early, and 3, the girl is by herself. That's the perfect situation, the golden trio. A bonus is that if it's early on in the semester before people have formed strong groups. This is what you do. You take out your stuff and you pretend to mess around on your phone or with your notebook for a minute or two. Then you turn over and ask her some mundane logistical question about the course. This is the icebreaker. Some options are, hey, have you done the homework yet? Or do you know when this project is due? Or hey, do you have a group yet? If you can work up the courage to do this, this is the hardest part, you will have done most of the work. Then you have to have a basic conversation about the class, and after a minute, introduce yourself, ask her for her name, and continue chatting. Finally, if you feel like the vibes are good, you're gonna want to get her number. Just be like, hey, what's your phone number? We can work on the homework together. Or what's your phone number? I'll add you to the group chat. You just need to make up some reason that fits the context to get her phone number. And if you do this after having a decent conversation, and you seem completely normal, there's a near 100% chance that she will give you her number. Why wouldn't she? You haven't even asked her out at that point. There's no reason for her to say no unless you were really weird. At this point, you might be thinking, oh, it's too simple, it'll never work. But trust me, the fundamentals are what work the best. That's why they're fundamental. You don't need some suave pickup line. You just need to have a normal interaction. And what's great about this is that now every time you go to class, you can sit by her. You can also use this technique on a dude and just make a friend. It's so versatile. I've used it in both situations several times. Side note, a lot of fellow CS majors complain about never seeing any girls in their classes. And I mean, they have a point. CS classes are saturated with dudes. You'll see like 1 girl to every 10 guys. It's not exactly stacked in our favor. But think about it this way. I actually think it's easier to do this in CS classes because the girls are usually alone, especially near the beginning of the course. Like, let's be honest, the fact that they're surrounded by dozens of smelly CS dudes means that they usually try to sit on their own. And if you compare this to a literature or a business class where you have tons of girls everywhere, they're all sitting in groups. So in my book, it's actually better if you're a CS major because there aren't that many girls in terms of pure numbers. They are usually by themselves, which makes them easier to approach. Also, let's be real, most CS majors are smelly and a little bit weird. So if you're a normal guy who can have a decent conversation with a girl, you really stand out. If you find yourself not really interacting with people in general, you need to cultivate the habit of going out more. If you're someone who's constantly skipping lectures, playing video games in your dorm, or stinking up your apartment, of course you never interact with women. Now, if you're someone who's consistently going to class, attending events, doing new things, the chance that you get the opportunity to talk to someone is so much higher. Also, little tip, cafes and coffee shops are extremely stacked and most people have not realized this yet. I swear to God, I've gone to cafes on college campuses and there have been 20 girls to 1 guy. If you can work up the courage to have a basic conversation with someone, it's extremely overpowered. Now that you have a girl's number, what's next? I want to remind you guys, this is going to take dozens and dozens of tries before it finally works out. It's not like the first girl you ask out is going to immediately say yes and start dating you. It will take time and effort and practice and consistency before anything comes of this. Here's what you're going to do. Because you have her phone number and you've probably had a few conversations in class, you'll want to ask her to do something simple, like grab a coffee or get boba on a random afternoon. Something public and low stakes that's easy for her to say yes to. And if you guys have an assignment or an exam coming up, even better, you could ask her if she wanted to study for that, because you'll naturally have conversation while studying. Ideally, you and the girl are alone so you can start to judge the vibes and the energy. First of all, do you actually like this girl? Is it easy to talk to her? You're making all of these initial assessments and deciding whether you want to move forward. And trust me, she's doing the exact same thing to you. Try not to wait too long after meeting her to send that initial text, and don't schedule the hangout too far out into the future. And be as specific as possible. Girls like it when you can do all the thinking for them, especially when deciding a time and place. Here's an example for an intro text you can use. Hey blank, this is your name. It was nice meeting you in class today. I was wondering if you wanted to grab coffee sometime this weekend at insert coffee shop. It'd be cool to get to know another CS major. Obviously, you'll want to adjust this based on the person you're messaging, but this is a good example of something that's very casual and easy for a girl to say yes to. Now, at this point, if she's not too interested in you, she'll probably not respond or make up some excuse. Something like, I'm really busy right now. If she says no to you in any way without suggesting an alternative, like let's grab lunch or move the date to another time, it's a soft no. Now, if she does say she's busy right now, but she might be a little bit free later on, on, you still have the option to message her at a future point. But if she doesn't take you up that second time, it's a hard no and it's completely dead. Also, I'm sorry bro, but if she uses the words right now, it probably means no. There is no right now. Girls just use that because it can make rejection just feel less personal. But trust me, see it as a full rejection and move on with your life. Assuming she says yes, here's some tips for a great first few dates. Like I said, you'll want to keep things light for this. I really like the coffee shop, but you can also start to layer in other activities. Some great ideas are hikes or walks, especially in areas of natural beauty. There's a really great botanical garden where I live. That's where I took my girlfriend early on, but it's really up to you. I have a friend who's into soccer, and he'll ask girls who are also into the sport if they want to kick around a soccer ball. Also, make sure not to bring up any heavy topics in the first date. I remember freshman year, I went on this date right after my last relationship ended, and the whole time I just talked about my ex. Like, what the hell? The girl was probably thinking, what the f is wrong with this guy? So yeah, don't bring up any past trauma or drama of any kind. And don't argue about politics or religion or anything argumentative like that. You want to seem respectful, chill, open-minded, someone who's easy to be around and not stressful to hang out with. Okay, so everything I've set up to this point is how to improve your game, or Riz as the kids say. Actions that you should take to ask a girl out and go on a successful first date. But there's something that the black pillars have right, and people don't like to hear this. But how attractive you are will dramatically increase your chances of success for everything I laid out earlier. I'm sorry to say, but if you're unattractive, have bad hygiene, are just not great socially, and you do everything I say, you still might not be very successful. Conversely, if you're tall, jacked, just a beautiful dude, you can do everything wrong and still have success in the dating market. It's sad, but it's true. So here are practical ways to improve your own attractiveness so that you aren't automatically discarded by the people you approach. In my opinion, these are things that every guy should be doing in general. Even if you're already in a relationship, these are things that'll keep your relationship healthy and strong. First of all, you have to be practicing male self-improvement. Basically, you need to be working on yourself at all times, before you enter a relationship, in a relationship, and after the relationship ends. This is extremely important and was a big mistake that I made. Once you find a girl that you genuinely like and get into a relationship with her, you cannot devote your entire life to her. I made this mistake in my last relationship. You like someone and finally they have feelings for you too. So you celebrate, you give up your goals, you stop grinding, you talk to them all the time, you just can't stop thinking about them. I'm in love, I want to enjoy this time. Yay. No, this is a huge mistake and the fastest way to lose respect in a relationship. This is another uncomfortable idea, but it's the truth. I've had conversations with girls and asked them this question. Would you ever date someone who's a fast food worker? Let's say you find a guy who's extremely attractive and nice, but he works at McDonald's. Would you ever give him a chance? And sadly, most of them say absolutely not. Whereas you ask the same question to guys, and most of them will say, yeah, if a girl is genuinely nice and kind and she works at McDonald's, I don't care, as long as she's a good person and a good partner. Most guys will work on themselves up until the point that they're in a relationship, and then they completely drop off. This is the football star phenomenon. You'll have the high school quarterback dating the head of the cheerleading team. Pretty soon they both graduate high school and get married. And then maybe the girl goes to college, gets a PhD, keeps going up in terms of her status and career, yet the guy doesn't have a great job, he doesn't really go to college, can barely make ends meet. This causes an implicit relationship dissatisfaction when one partner keeps going up and the other stagnates or goes down in terms of mate value. That mate value discrepancy is what causes a lot of relationship issues. So it's really important to keep grinding and keep going as a man, even if you're in a relationship. Here's the thing, respect is one of the most important things in any partnership, and girls tend to respect those guys who still have their masculine urge to keep on grinding, keep on pushing through their own goals. They like that relentless urge to keep on going. I remember I actually met my current girlfriend because she wanted to talk to me about this YouTube channel. This was years ago. She saw my channel, noticed that I've been posting for a while, and was attracted to that energy. Now that you know the importance of self-improvement before and during a relationship, what are some things that every guy should be doing on a regular basis? Number one, you must be hitting the gym regularly. This is the complete low-hanging fruit. This will boost your attractiveness so much, it's crazy. I'm shocked by how many people aren't already doing it. Hitting the gym does tons of things for you. First of all, over time, you will build a more confident, attractive physique, and this makes a huge difference. Here's a little secret. What women say they want is not what they actually go for. You need to look at people's actions rather than what they say. Nowadays, everyone seems to think that skinny, soft boy K-pop style is the most desirable. We're told that this is the modern ideal. Fine, if you're a 12-year-old boy trying to get 12-year-old girls, maybe this is what you should go for. But just look at the evidence. Who above the age of 20 has the most success in the dating game? In college, it's those jacked frat dudes. These guys all give off strong masculine energy. Now, fine, maybe they do struggle a little bit later on in life, but at no point above the age of 20 has a TikTok boy had any major success in terms of dating. The gym will start to give you that commanding, confident presence. Let me tell you, now I still have a lot of work to do in the gym, but I've been lifting for the past 4 years years, and it's made a massive difference towards my own confidence and energy. People nowadays describe me as very forward, very commanding, and that's largely due to the gym. I was not like that in the past. As CS majors, it makes even more of a difference because very few people in our field actually have a good, strong physique. Other than the gym, another really important thing is hygiene. I'm sorry, but CS majors, we are failing this category. Almost every CS class I go to just stinks of BO. It's horrible. I don't get why we're so bad at hygiene. It's such an obvious thing to fix. There are guys who can solve leak code hards but don't realize that they should shower every day. It's depressing. First of all, you need to shower every day, preferably in the morning. I've heard so many CS majors tell me, you technically don't need to shower for optimal skin health. Bro, shut up. If you want to come across as an attractive, put together individual, you need to take morning showers. Your hairstyle is also really important. Make sure to shampoo only 1 to 2 times per week and condition after every shower. And afterwards, put some pomade in your hair and properly style it. I also use a blow dryer and hairspray to give it some volume. And please wear deodorant every day. It's so obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. Also, you need a proper skincare routine. I would watch Ali Abdal's video and just copy exactly what he says, but here's what you should be doing. In the morning, I use a benzoyl peroxide face wash in the shower. This is the one I use. And then afterwards, I put on the CeraVe AM sunscreen moisturizer. In the night, you could wash your face with a salicylic acid face wash and then use some kind of retinoid. I personally use a prescription level tretinoin. This will make your skin look so much clearer in a few months, it's unbelievable. Another thing is that if you have glasses, you should probably get contacts. Most people look a lot better without glasses. And if you think you don't, it's probably because you're used to seeing yourself with glasses. I know several people who thought they looked better with glasses, and then they got contacts, and a few weeks later, they agreed with me that they look significantly more attractive without glasses. Now, in terms of facial hair, either shape it or shave it. If you can't fully grow a beard, it's fine, just don't have that weird in-between patchy stubble. Either grow a full, properly shaped beard, or shave it all off. Trust me, you will look a lot better. And get consistent haircuts. Most people look good with a proper fade, and if you get a haircut every month or so, you'll look great year-round. These are simple things, but most people are not doing them. This is my brother last year before he took my advice, and this is him now. He got a haircut, got contacts, shaped his beard, and fixed his wardrobe. You be the judge of the difference. I think he looks like two completely different people. In terms of your charisma, one thing that you should be always doing is looking people in the eye and flashing them a smile. It's a basic thing that I've recently started doing, and it makes you seem much more approachable and kind. You'll want to do this with basically everyone. People on the street, strangers. As long as they seem like a normal person, give them a nod and a smile. Also, stand up straight. Stop slouching so much. If you stand up straight with your shoulders back, you will come across much more confident. If you're interested in why I think every CS major has got to hit the gym regularly, you can watch this video right here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. A like would be incredible, and I will see you in the next video.